Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus, the Riven Realms. We've made it to Kabur. I picked up in Oilfield Venari, and I just walked us south to Kabur. So we've made it. Literally nothing happened except camping twice. So don't feel like you missed out. It is time to sell our metal goods. The average price of the stock you own. Is this a good price? Hold on. We bought this in, like, Torzag Shelter, right? Have I been had? Metal. We bought it for... No, it's like twice a little less than twice, but all the metal is, like, much more valuable in Kabur than it is in Torzag Shelter. So I don't know what that's about. Holy cow! Sell all the metal. Wow, we've almost reached 3,000, which I've never even gotten close to before. So the gate is pretty sick. Once you make it work. I'm really excited to try and drag a bunch of oil back through the gate the other way. It'll be very exciting when that happens. However, I just realized our beast of burden, we don't have any. I should have grabbed some when I was at the oil field, but it's time to re-equip all of our stuff before I forget. So our Tarkian awnings, of course, and then our wheels, wherever they are, reinforced wheels, and I think that's everything. We don't have I want to find that dwarven compass so bad. That would be so sick. What if I explore the city and I find it right now? Skirting a block of buildings on the edge of the souk, you enter the slums and walk into Beggar's Lane. It is a narrow, filthy alley that runs surprisingly long between two rows of squalid buildings. True to its name, the place is full to the brim with tainted wretches begging for alms, scrawny urchins asking for a few changers, and lepers mumbling to themselves in the shadows. Knowing better, they do not even try to harass you until one man calls out to you, bowing his head politely. "Care to give us unfortunate souls some coins, Vagrus?" His voice rings out. "Does he know you?" You ask him. "After a fashion," he confirms. "We hear a lot of things, learn many secrets." Let's give them some lurg. I have so much money. Oh, you bastards. I forgot that if we give them anything, everybody's upset. Well, at least Gorgoro and Elani were happy about it. Your generosity impresses the beggars, and they murmur all sorts of blessings to you, waving their hands around and bowing their heads. You gingerly leave the press of unwashed bodies and depart Beggar's Lane. You have a strange feeling about the whole affair. Could it be that the blessings of these wretches have taken hold? Stranger things have happened. We gained inspiration. Sick. I don't know what inspiration does. It's not insight. That's a different thing. All right, we need to go visit the prince. That is the whole reason we came here. We have to drop off the... I was gonna say we have to drop off the artist. So let's start there. They leave my comitatus. "I shall set up the paintings in a palace hall, Vagrus. Feel free to follow me, and then we can notify Prince Faisal together," he states, his voice brimming with anticipation. The prince's painter then leads you up some stairs and then to a chamber overlooking the lush magnificence of the prince's private gardens nestled in a courtyard. There he immediately begins the preparations, his zeal manifesting in every graceful move. Soon enough, the hall is slowly transformed into an auspicious gallery in its own right. As the desert sun bathes it in daylight and casts a golden hue on its walls and floor, the earthy scent of paint fills the air as a prelude to the imminent artistic revelation. Mahadi directs servants to place his artworks with deliberate intent born of a discerning eye and a vision for aesthetic harmony. Once the preparations are complete, he turns to you. "Now, let us go to the prince. He will be exhilarated to learn that my masterpieces are ready for him to inspect," he announces with a ceremonious manner. "This shall be momentous." You make your way to the prince's quarters. Upon announcing that you have returned from faraway lands with Mahadi, Prince Faisal's eyes light up in anticipation. While you are visiting with the prince, the artist extends his arm in extravagance, punctuating the theatrical flourish with a deep bow of grandeur when he sees his lord enter. Clearing his throat, he addresses both the prince and yourself, going into detail about each of the paintings now on display. Their respective styles, color schemes, matters of perspective, and brushwork are all discussed, as well as the narrative and symbolism for each and every one of them, as Mahadi walks you through the details and lets you observe from close and afar. Splendid, splendid, stupendous. I'm struggling to find the right words, Mahadi. You've outdone yourself this time, the prince admits. Truly remarkable. It's an honor, my prince. The painter bows low with a humble smile. The prince observes the 5 works of art for quite some time before sitting down. Then he regards Mahadi for a few moments. You don't seem as exuberant and contented as I had imagined you would be after returning to Kabul. Is there something amiss? What ails you, my good Mahadi? The prince inquires genially with an undertone of concern. After releasing a long and troubled sigh, Mahadi tells the story in detail, and the prince follows it rapidly. When the painter concludes his sad tale, Prince Faisal becomes introspective briefly, reflecting on what he heard. That was certainly not easy, I must admit. I do not blame either of you for wanting to see this through to the end, the prince says in an understanding tone and then turns to Mahadi. Please, accept my heartfelt condolences for your loss. You know I took a liking to Samira myself. Mourn as long as you feel the need to. I will always be an eager listener and a consoling voice if you need either. Your skills as a painter are known in all corners of the Empire, and you are my court painter for a good reason. You will persevere, and I am certain, he states, his voice resonating with profound understanding. Mahadi contemplates his words for a while, visibly emotional, and then nods to himself and speaks. May the gods grant me that I need a break from all this, I feel. With all due respect, wise prince, I shall not take on any more commissions until I paint Samira as she was the very last time I saw her. The very last time I saw her smile. That image may be the thing that can fill the void she has left in my soul, but for that, I need solitude and plenty of time for reflection. He announces in a solemn voice before bowing, and you shall be granted that, my friend. Prince Faisal tells him, and Mahadi excuses himself. Once the servants close the ornate door behind him, the prince turns to you. I do appreciate loyalty, especially if it comes at a great cost, he tells you softly. May Anubis himself watch Samira's soul and take her among the stars. Regardless of the solemn end to this journey, you shall receive your full recompense for your efforts. You thank the prince and both of you return to his audience chamber. You consider what to do next. I will come back in a second. Because I want to turn in the mission to the Seneschal. Discuss an errand you believe you have completed. Yes. Upon hearing your claims of success in completing the task, a vague pout tugs at the corners of his lips and his brow creeps up slightly, yet he maintains an official tenor. We did that. We informed him that you successfully delivered the prince's gift. Delving into the depths of what occurred during the delivery of the prince's gift, you shed light on the sequence of events the way you deem fit. With keen attention, the Seneschal directs pointed inquiries your way in an effort to scrutinize the authenticity of your account. Upon responding to these queries to his discerning contentment, his countenance shifts to an odd mixture of contentment and slight vexation. Then he hands you a pouch containing handsome recompense for your troubles. In the name of his grace, he articulates with a touch of resentment in his voice, I must extend the utmost of our appreciation for your fortuitous endeavors. The performance was sufficient adequacy, it appears. I shall expeditiously apprise the prince of this account, Vagrus. Your presence is no longer required for the time being. Do we have any new tasks? Realm gate repairs? Prince's message. In matters of diplomacy, Prince Faisal's acumen shines with a brilliance unmatched. The Seneschal begins, his tone resonating with reverence. With a keen sense of diplomacy and immense political adroitness that befits his exalted station, he diligently oversees the vast expanse of the empire, casting an ever-watchful gaze upon issues that warrant his discerning consideration. He continues, his words flowing with elegant cadence. Such vigilance encompasses a steadfast engagement in correspondence with those who are privy to valuable information. The prince masterfully imparts directives to his envoys and representatives, their reports becoming a rhythmic pulse that beats in concert with the heartbeat of the Riven realms, on which he keeps his finger at all times. Akira intones, pausing for a moment to... In light of this, I am requesting your contribution in ensuring the preservation of the flow of knowledge. He offers genially that there is a slight edge to his words. It is almost It is almost as if he only involves you in these matters that the prince has bid him to. Then he moves on to the details. Beneath a veneer of detachment, he issues his instructions with a measured tone. Your task involves delivering a letter to an individual named Mara in Larnak at the fields. She is a water shaman. Her ilk are very influential in the city as they hold dominion over its water reserves. I have to emphasize the significance of utmost secrecy as the contents are exclusively intended for her, he cautions. Upon successfully completing your task, you will receive 10 bros pieces. Such pitiful payment, but I will do it. Excellent, the seneschal exclamation is born of contentment. Yet those astute enough can detect a nuance of impatience lurking beneath his veneer. Pray do not deliberate your decisions regarding this for too long, as these matters are of great import to Prince Faisal and require timely resolution. The most prudent course of action would be for you to set out on your newfound assignment without undue delay. Of course. All right, back to the prince. To the palace. Visit the prince. Okay. Can we talk to him about Kellyanos now? Dang. Apparently not. Can we ask him to intervene on your behalf with the warring factions? Prince Faisal considers for a moment. I can do that. Though I shall give you no details, and I deny having done it should ever come out. I shan't be able to intervene very often either. Once it is done, you will have to wait quite a while until I can pull some strings, he says in a lowered voice, and you will owe us. That is the Hanjari for this. You tell him that you will respect his wishes. Very well then, he replies. Who do you wish me to contact in your name? Ask him to intervene. Oh, okay, you sacrifice some of your Hanjari rep in order to boost rep with the other people. I think we just want to continue to let the warring factions play it out for now. I guess I have to just continue building rep with the guy. Okay. The Prince's Commissions. Undertake a variety of tasks for Seneschal Akir. So we must go deliver the present, or deliver the Princess Faisal's letter. Didn't we deliver this gift? Is this a different gift? Maybe that's a new one. Or maybe that's the last thing we could do once we do the letter. I don't know, man. All right. Is there anything left for me to do here then? Because we can't learn more about the Dreamwalker while we're here. Turn of the Worms. The Mysteries of the Dead Forest. Harvek. Braga the Braggart. That's back in the other place. Bug Hunt. Worms, Abominable Congregation. Report the bounty to the Slag Fort. Scornar. Oh, I have to do that when I'm in Avernum next. I keep forgetting about that Scornar needs to do something in Avernum. I've been to Avernum like 8 times since I did that too. Gotta be a is there an arena here? Maybe? In the Kaljahar Souk? Bespoke Shop. Craftsman's Square, Lustrous Coin. Maybe they don't have arenas in the north. They're like, we're too refined for that. The slums, perhaps? City's arena! Sign up for a fight, yes! The city's old fighting arena is in a dilapidated imperial-style amphitheater sunk several levels into the earth, so that most of its facilities are underground. The stench of unwashed bodies, coagulated blood, and urine is everywhere. Gross! Let's do it. Oh, we can fight beasts or warriors. For a token price. Let's do warriors because Eilani hates fighting creatures. The editor claps his hands excitedly when you pick warriors, promising a challenging fight. He takes you and your companions down to the chamber where you can prepare, then leaves to get the enemy gladiators ready. After a half hour or so, the portcullis is lifted and the crowd in the grandstands goes wild as your fighters enter the arena. It is only then that you learn what your enemy is like. It is a group of Tainted. Tainted are so bad at and some dudes. What a weird group of people. Oh, my people are still beat up. Well, oops. Oh, we can only take 5. Oh. In that case, let's pull. Do you have armor? Hold on. None armor on that guy. None on that guy either. And I can't imagine any of you have armor. So maybe Gorgoro's not as important. And then we'll throw Nadir back here. And then Garrick or Harvick can just bounce back and forth as he sees fit. All right. Elani, I would love for you to stun this fool. You didn't do it. You hit him, but you didn't stun him. Crit shot is great. I've been targeted. Stab him. I think he'll bleed to death. So, let's double up the fireball. Good hit. This guy is dangerous. What the move? Tainted attack missed. Good job. Attack that man. He's got a headache. I feel bad for this guy. That dude did bleed out, so good news. I think I'll try... Oh, you evaded. I'm surprised. Stab this guy at the back. And then try to slice him as well. Good job. The Tainted has now punched Harvick. Double fireball. A crit is fantastic news. Ah, I've been bone clubbed. You lived! Astounding. Oh, no, you didn't. Let's see. Let's try to stun him again. Or maybe it was the other guy we tried to stun. Throw a ward under him. And then Harvick try to bleed him to death. Alright, he'll die for sure. Harvick. Oh, rats. Maybe just axe him, I guess. Shoot this dude. And he's dead as well. What a good battle. I think I took 2 damage. Perhaps. With the foe soundly defeated, your companions are celebrated by the frenzied crowd, and the editor hands you your winnings. He also asks you to return when your duties permit because you have the makings of a great lanista. You will consider it. We can do a fight every once in a while. We got 10 bros for that? We paid 2, so we made 8. That was crazy, and it was not hard. I guess it's random, probably, what you fight, but seemed really easy. I guess we'll just have to come back later. It doesn't really have a time limit. Interesting. Okay, well, perhaps we partake in a little old-fashioned trading, huh? The question is, do we want to do our oil field run? You know, I kind of want to go out to Utengray because there's the lady that I flirt with all the time. So it kind of makes sense if we do like Phlegatus Bridge, or the Caverns of Largus, or even like Wazir High and Fort Erebus. So let's go to get ourselves some beasts. All right. How many beasts is that? 5 beasts. No mounts. Let's mount up all of our fighters here. Give me an even number. Get me all of these fighters. I'm going crazy with my crew here. And then how many? It's like if we got 1 more beast of burden, we'd have a full thing. But let's wait and see what we get as far as filling our inventory out. So first of all, how far do we have to go? Phlegatus Bridge, I cannot click on for some reason. But Utengray is 14 days away. So I'm thinking like at least 14 days of food. We can get some at the Caverns of Largus, but we should be on the safe side as far as like, there. We actually almost took all of the supplies. So I like this 15 days. Now, we need to get more labor. So buy all the slaves doesn't get us enough labor. That's astounding. So I guess we'll have to hire some dudes for a little bit. There. We'll replace them as we can. But we just have some normal guys for now. Okay. So, caverns should be our primary take right now. So we'll look for the caverns first. Phlegatus Bridge is secondary, I think. Because I think we can pick up some more stuff. Okay, that was everything. So we could do a maximum of 6 more. This is 3. This is 3 as well. I think we'll do that. So let's get 1 more Beast of Burden. we're low on labor again, so we have to get one more worker again. This is a crazy amount of stuff we're taking. So let's see here. 13 days? I think we'll be fine. Let's see. So you, and then there was one other... This one. Great. All right, we've fully filled our comitatus. We will take a rest quickly. Anybody going where we want to go? Wazir High, I mentioned, but we're not really going that way. Blessing of Unbind. Oh, we still have the Blessing of Unbinding from when we fought the shadow people in Tor's Egg Shelter. All right, let's rest. Send out our dudes to work because we have a little bit of labor left anyway. Good healing. And then let's grab the last of these supplies here, and then we'll head out on the road. An old-fashioned Vagrus episode where I don't do anything but trade. Or at least the back half of this episode. It's funny, like, we got a lot of days. What I'll probably do is we'll do this whole trade thing, and then I'll see, you know, how many days does that get us? With regards to recharging our astrolabe. And then I'll probably just generate the... Continue? I'll generate the power for the gate key on my own, and then we'll just go back through together. Because the only things going on up here are a couple of local missions, like the coffee lady. Show them my Hanjari road exemption. Ha 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 ha. You don't get to charge me 1,000 coins or whatever you were gonna do. Really the only things are pushing the Chimera Legion versus the Hanjari, or the Ahari quest along, but that's kind of just happening organically. If we go up to Fort Erebus, I think we could look for some things to help out with that. But otherwise, we have, like, the Coffee Lady mission. We have the, like, rebuild the oil field in the north. And then we have the Onyx Outpost, like, forest mission. But otherwise, we're just trying to build rep with the prince so we can track down the Dreamwalker people, and he doesn't trust us enough yet. Explore the caverns, draw some water from the fountain. Got 180 supplies, that's great. And now we will turn in most of our stuff here. And then, do you guys have anything for me to take to the bridge? You sure don't. Just Onyx Outpost, really. Which is the opposite direction that we're going. And then Duratin as well. Which we're also not really headed to. So I almost wonder if I shouldn't just ditch some of these beasts for now. Could even ditch one more. Let's do it. And then I think we can ditch these workers. Yeah, we absolutely can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll buy this random slave. And then 2 fighters. So we're back to 25 manpower at least. And we'll get 26. Why not? We're only at... We're at 620. That might be the most crew combat power I've ever had. That's probably not true. I feel like we had like 50, close to 50 fighters once upon a time. But we've definitely never had 20 mounted guys before. Whoops, I didn't mean to leave. Exchange, passengers. You're going to Hackterest. Where is that? Oh, that's all the way up there. Maybe we'll go there, maybe not. But we should rest. We have 11 days. Don't work. We don't have the movement necessary to do so. And then let's head out, go into the bridge. It makes the most sense to get back onto the road. Quick as you can. We could go to Radamantis. I remember the Dreamwalker people talked about that. Just show up there randomly. Hey guys! They're like, who are you? Kill him. They don't like me. They tried to recruit or like steal a bunch of my people, and then I kicked them out. And then their other people tried to poison the water. And then we put a stop to that as well. We've reached the bridge with plenty of time to spare. Head to the Manzio. Visit the bridge. Well, we should turn in our stuff. Turn in. You got some supplies. They're expensive, though. All right, let's visit the bridge. What's going on here? Mason's workshop? Okay. What about the Cider's hovel? What does this do? Oh, that's right. Talk to the woman serving at the bar about Brutus, the man who lost his memory. I remember I heard about this and then I forgot that it was a thing. Buy some rounds. Learn what news you can. Talk to a group of men looking like mercenaries drinking rowdily. All right, let's talk about Brutus. You waltz up to the bar where you find a corpulent middle-aged woman surfing a small group of legionnaires of the Chimera Legion. When she is done, she manages a thin smile before you begin regaling her with the details of Brutus's predicament. I cannot say that I know the man, Vagrus. There is another fellow, a short, stocky man. He knows most of the punters, but he's away today. If what you say is true, then I imagine you had best speak with the proprietor of the pleasure lounge. He'll be better equipped to give you any information you might need. You thank the woman for her insights and taking your leave shortly afterwards. Well, let's talk to you guys. They want to go to Oilfield de Rotten. Sure. You make your way over to the corner of the bar. Didn't I talk to you guys recently? I feel like I talked to these people before. Let's take them. Let's go to Oilfield de Rotten. I've made my mind up. Small group of mercenaries will leave when you do. Okay, cool. And then the pleasure lounge. Find and talk to Brutus. I just found him. Okay. You find Brutus in his usual place with his typically forlorn expression looking up after you greet him, and he reciprocates. I see you've returned. How can I be of service, Vagrus? You bid him farewell. Okay, apparently I've talked to him before. I have no memory of this. Find the proprietor to try and speak with satyrs, working girls, and boys. Moving within the lounge, you linger on punters and workers alike, asking where you might find the proprietor. Soon the Tarkian man finds you himself. He approaches dressed in lavish finery, kohl at the edges of his eyes. His voice is smooth while he smiles knowingly, raising an eyebrow. What are you looking for tonight? Something special, perhaps? You convince the proprietor to give you the full truth about Brutus. We've done so. Though the process is painstaking, the man eventually cracks. His honey words have little sway with you, and after a time he simply gives up, offering you a condition. There may have been a problem with a certain potter, yes. Know this, I will never corroborate your story if you retell it to anyone of note. This conversation did not happen. I can tell you one thing, the girl you want to talk to is Anastasia, a rare jewel we reserve for our most astute clientele. She may or may not have a story to tell of her own volition. Her choices are her own, though if you would like me to arrange a meeting, I can. First, I need your word that my name, this establishment, had no part in providing you this information. Is that clear? He asks, his tenor considerably sterner than before. You tell the Tarkian that it is, and he nods contently. Then return to me when you are ready for her. She is a busy woman and a favorite among our clientele. You may have to wait a little while to speak to her. Oh, and you definitely have to pay. The time is money, friend, and her time's worth 3 bros. No more, no less. You tell the man you will return when you are ready to meet her. Can we meet her now? Sure. The Tarkian proprietor nods and beckons you to follow him. You leave your companions behind and he leads you upstairs through several corridors before you finally arrive at a small door. Bowing low, the man addresses you once more. Treat Anastasia with respect and you will have the time of your life, he smiles. You pay the man his money and open the door. Pay him his money. Anyway, a soft, husky voice calls to you from within. You make your way closer, and when she comes into full view, you see Anastasia half lying on a nearby couch. Her pale-skinned Kalani body bare, save for an elegant azure silk robe. So she's not bare at all. The robe matches her exquisite blue eyes. Lifting her head ever so slightly towards you, she purses her lips before tossing her dark tousled hair across to one side in an elegant motion. Her mouth is set to a demure smirk when she speaks. Come, little kitten, come and play with your pussycat. She murmurs before lifting a long piece of cloth beside her to reveal a small household cat. That's funny. She holds your gaze for a moment before guffawing in your direction. Sorry, friend. Call it a hazard of the occupation. I need my little jokes. I am Anastasia, as you no doubt have guessed. Can I pet the cat? In an instant, her composure shifts. So, are we to be lovers? She whispers coyly, her alluring blue eyes urging you on. Tell her that you are to be lovers. Perhaps you can discuss the man without his memory afterward. Tell her that you are not to be lovers. You have come to ask her about Brutus, the man who lost his memory. I see. A pity, really. I'm sure we could have had some fun. She smiles coyly. You delve into the details about Brutus, the man with no memory, and her demeanor takes on a troubled quality. Look, Vagrus, some stories are best left untold. Suffice it to say, he was in the right place. He is in the right place now. Undeterred, you press her on the details, and after some visible frustration, she finally relents. Fine, I'll give it to you straight. I'm not one to mince words. I've got places to be and people to do. Though not you, it seems, she pouts. The truth of the matter is that Jarek took justice into his own hands. Brutus was a regular here, and he had a thing for beating working girls. Okay, Brutus needs to be punished. So Jarek took him outside Cedes and hurled him out into the river Leith one night, damn near killing the bastard. Said it turned him into a vegetable, but all it's really done is erase his memories, the functional ones that allow him context for the things his subconscious mind seemed to know, like language. That's it if you want to know more. Talk to Jarek. Other girls working here should know where he's been. He loves to talk. She comments almost as if to herself. You have questions for her. From what you have heard, Anastasia is one of Brutus's victims. Persuade her to open up about him. We have done it. For the first time, Anastasia's sapphire eyes become dark, belying an untold pain. She hesitates for a time before resigning herself to honesty. Gone is her typical smirk, replaced by a pensive countenance. That's right, she confirms. The man had several sadistic traits about him. One particular occasion, we'd done the deed, and he'd been violent with me afterward, admonishing me for faking it or something. Of course he was right, I was faking it, but that's this job, that's him. Did he expect me to coo and gasp with real pleasure? What a fool he was. When I told him, he swung at me, heavy and full. The blow knocked me from my feet, so I lashed out at him, kicking his legs, she recalls, tears welling in her eyes. Then the real beating started. She paused for a moment, gathering herself. Emotionally, she seemed torn, lost between mockery and distress. I was lucky, she finally says. A bodyguard who protects the girls here at the lounge came rushing to the door. I know him well. He is a good man. He beat Brutus to a pulp, but I'd already taken a beating myself. I could not work for months, and I fear Linnaeus had not intervened. I would have died that day. You ask Anastasia if she would be willing to swear upon what she has said here today. I would, but the word of a whore is worth little, she remarks with a tinge of disdain in her voice. Still, I know Linnaeus would swear to it. He'd do anything to protect us. The procurer of the Tarkian man? I can't imagine he'd want to get involved. He's a businessman first and foremost, and Brutus is important to those who require his pottery skills at Phlegatus. You ask Anastasia about something else. Discuss the victims of Brutus's violence? She raises an eyebrow, her typical upbeat tenor all but disappearing in an instant. Most have left, she states plainly. When Brutus came here, he'd come every night. Always had coin, and of course we were always here. It usually wasn't until he was considerably drunk, or just angry for whatever reason, that he'd be violent with us girls. But when he was, you knew about it. One girl I'd worked with lost the use of her legs when Brutus beat her with a chair. Jesus Christ! Admonishing her for some clumsy love-making mistake she'd apparently made. She rolls her eyes, filled with tangible disdain for the man. You ask Anastasia to give you a rough estimate of how many girls, wondering also if any of them remain to recount their stories. There is one, but she is a mute now. Her and I are the last known survivors, I suppose, she admits, divulging a little about herself in the process. I was lucky, though, she continues. Some of my closest friends were forever scarred by his penchant for alcohol and sadistic violence. Anastasia, ask who Jarek is? Have you not heard of the man? She says rhetorically, surprised. He's practically a legend around Cedes, a force to be reckoned with in all the senses. I suppose one would describe him as roguish. He has a distinct talent for card games and smooth talk. I hear he is not bad with a blade either. No, he certainly knows his way around the pleasure lounge. She smirks. You press her on that last point, wondering if the man has a trade. Does he serve in the Imperial Legions or in any afflictions you should know about? I only know the rumors. Men I've talked to said he once was a legionnaire, but he found his way out of the life after doing a couple of successful tours as a youth. Honorable discharge, that kind of thing. He got out on a technicality, I understand. I can tell you one thing for sure, the man is no soldier. No allegiance to the Legion or any of the trading houses. Though I heard he's done work for the Loaders Guild, cheeky git. You ask Anastasia how she knows so much about Jarek. Is she close to him? As I mentioned earlier, he just loves to talk, actually. I've heard he's useful with his tongue in numerous ways. She says, stifling a giggle. Sorry, like I said, we girls do have to keep ourselves entertained around here. Otherwise, we'd all go mad. To answer your question, no, we're not close. We've had a few encounters, that's all. He's been for a few rounds with most of the ladies. Most welcome him. He's got a heart of gold, even if he is a cocky, sardonic bastard. You asked, let's talk about something else? We talked about this. All right, we will bid her farewell. You have everything you need. Truly, it has been an interesting experience, Vagrus. Ask around cities about Jarek. I'm sure he hasn't gone far, Anastasia purrs, softly urging you on once more. Then her demeanor shifts and she says her parting words. Bring Brutus to justice if you can. Lie to him if you need to. Just make sure you don't let him become the person he once was. You return to your companions on the Pleasure Lounge's main floor. We will speak with Jarek next time. But for now, let's pause the episode there. We've learned... I can't believe I forgot about this guy. He's a bad man, is all I've learned. But for now, if you guys enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more Vagrus the Riven Realms, or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. That also helps me out a lot. But until next time, everybody, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!